Good morning, fellow punters. The clock on the wall is 13 minutes past 5 on Sunday morning. I haven't lost the plot, nor am I walking in my sleep. I'm not that long home, maybe 45 minutes or 50 minutes home from the city of the tribe. Was probably 2:30 and I'm leaving it. When playing poker after the races, got to the Eglinton Casino about 7:30. There was a tournament going on, 125 ahead to enter. Good crack at the table. There was a few I didn't know. A couple I did, hadn't seen them in a while. Got away with a few bluffs early on. Wasn't getting any cards, so I had to make a move. And held on fairly well until I got moved to another table. And cards began to change. And on the very first hand, there was a raise, 3-bet, and I went all in. And they were hemming and hawing and pausing and whatnot, but they didn't. They let me off, but they thought I was bluffing. But I had the Cowboys at the time, pocket kings. Got queens after that and done okay. Lost a big pot, and over 300,000 pot to I had ace king against ace queen, and he spiked to queen on the river. But I played well, even though I was a bit rusty, or I thought I might be. But not many bluffers at the table, so you could read them fairly handy. Got to the final table, and they were paying 6, and then they done a bubble 200 for 7th. Then there was 6, then there was 5, so there was 4 of us left, and the blinds were small blind 20,000, big blind 40,000, and a 40,000 ante. So you were losing 100,000 each orbit. 4 left. The hand that made the difference for me had ace king against pocket juices, and the juices held up. Lost 175,000, and next hand, or the 2 hands after, ace 9 against ace jack. There was a 9 in the window, but there was a jack behind it. But happy enough, I pulled 550 for 4th. The 3rd was 750 and 150 ticket. There was 1150 and 150 ticket for 2nd, and there was 1750 and 150 ticket to another tournament for the winner. So if the ace king had held up, I probably would have been near chip leader at the time. So anyway, I enjoyed it to pieces. So not a bit tired either. So I studied a bit of horses when I came home, and I decided to do the video now as opposed to going to bed, possibly tired in the morning, not getting up until 9 or 10. So I'll have this in the oven in 15 or 20 minutes, and early risers will see it. Got to the racetrack today at about, I was there early. I was there about 1. There must be 30 to 35 cars left overnight from last night's race, and obviously they socialised after and got taxis home in the field, as opposed to maybe 2 or 3 all during the week. Met a man going in the gate. He said to me, do you do a podcast? He was from Galway. I just asked him, was he over a jet? He looked at me funny as much, said, what are you talking about? His wife copped it, and she was a Tipperary woman. Apologies, I never got their names. She was pleasantly she pleasantly enjoyed the Tipperary song at home in any Tipperary town last Monday night. So I told her to bring him down to Tipperary over the winter and show him a schlitter, and he'd soon forget about what happened last week. I think on the way in I got a free ticket. A woman had a son, about maybe 6 or 7, so he wasn't needed to pay a ticket, and she gave me a ticket. So actually must be their son or a relation copped it. He says, your luck is in today. I met Caleb and Kieran from Limerick City, and Caleb's girlfriend from the Banner County, but she must have her convinced to support Limerick because she was wearing a green dress. But I told her pass no heed on them. I said, if you sock it to them over the winter, you're All Ireland champions. Sean Fahey and the son Dara were looking for a wheelbarrow. They were from Castlegar in Galway, and a good chat with Tom from Hoth as well. So met a good few today. Had good company as well. Sam was up from Listowel. He was killing two birds with the one stone. Not alone was he back on horses, but he could be back on something else tonight. As my neighbours say, he could be Egg Tipthall. We made a few pound, and we were awful unlucky again a couple of times today. We got off to a great start with Alazy winning, and I've met a couple in the shop that has the red pins, and they were saying Alazy wouldn't like the track. I said there's nothing wrong with the track for Alazy. I said it's the way he has to be rode, and Crowley knows how to ride him. Just shows you how unlucky he was the last day, and he chose the wrong one the last day. So he won, he got us off to a good start. True Legend couldn't get the gaps when he wanted them. Caius Corrister went out in front, which I didn't expect, didn't settle. We had a 25 to 1 place. It was gambled on, I think, of finish up 16's cover up in the sprint. Looked at one stage like it might go all right. Quirash was an on-runner. I went for a horse that done us a good turn lately. Can't think of the name of it. I didn't write it down. You know the one anyway. German Gear. Didn't settle, came too wide. And Roea was placed. So slightly up at Chester or at Goodwood. On to Galway. The maiden hurl was, I think, 4th or 5th. And there was good money for him too. Total 2 was a total disappointment. Gavin Cromwell's horse hasn't been running well all week. Puppet Master won snug. That was, I think it went off 1 to 2. I had a nice double going at 4 to 5 and 13 to 8, and the Quiet Man left his race coming out of the stall, could go nowhere then. Same applied to King Thistle. Then the nap of the day at Galway, Imposing Supreme, was in great position, got a great break out of the stalls, and was in great position all through, and held on big time up the stretch. Thistle's first time to do that. And then another hard luck story with Alpha Capture. That was 7 and 8 to 1. Could go nowhere, which is full run at the coming out of the dip, and ran on then to finish second. I think it was the best horse, but just didn't win. And then Carmeletta Vega won. You could get 10 to 11, 5 to 6 on the course. Then we had 2 in England. We're an awful hard luck with James McHenry. He traded very short in running. It was actually the favourite that sort of goosed us, because he put it up to him, and he done a good job on it and put him away, and the Trinidad then closed to just on the line. That was a 9 to 1 shot last night and through the day. I think there was late money for it. Finished at 11 to 2 or 6 to 1, and then the other one, Quantum Leap. The horse that won the race, we back to 2 runs back, and the rain came, and it done no good for us that day. And we backed it on the strength of having finished third to Alphonse Legrand in Chester, which was a good surf, or in Newcastle on a good surface. Then it rained that day, but I thought there might be rain there today, and it might suit Quantum Leap, but he's a dodge pot. He's gone for good. On to tomorrow, or today rather. Galway. We have a couple of bus horses that won for us during the week, running today. We're in the first race for the Inforum yard of Ross O'Sullivan, rather. We have Bythesametoken. Tollstone, that won yesterday at Bettis, and ran today. It might be pulled out tomorrow, I don't know, because I didn't run that hectic today on the flat back in Trip. this was higher rated over fences. This is back over hurdles. Looks like it was laid out for the job. It was where did I see this? It was third to teed up last year. At 28-1. I know it's 10, but there's money for it. Teed up on this for the last 2 years. It looks like it has been laid out for the race. There is money for it. Not sure how will Tonestown run at all or not. We have a horse that we backed early in the week, and I'd said at the time that I would rather have seen him to be running tomorrow in this 3 mile race, and that's Flicker of Hope. There was a bit of money for him and word for him on the track, but to have Jack Kennedy up tomorrow, looks like handbrake will be off and everything will be going. It was a bigger price earlier. It actually opened up 12-1. I didn't get it. It was 8s when I spotted it. Again, we have a me horse at the head of the market. Flicker of Hope. Likes the distance and won't mind a bit of cut either. It's only a 5-year-old. It ran a good race there when we came across, and I came across it first. Heavy ground there at 2 mile, but it didn't win until it just stepped up to 3 mile. 2 mile the last day, it was not far enough. A Flicker of Hope, each way bet on it. This is a tricky race. We have Janadil, who only got to the first in the Galway plate, and we have Easy Game. It was 2 years ago when Royal Rendezvous won the Galway plate. I thought maybe when I seen Monbeg Park there and I backed it, it's 12-1 to back it each way, and it's only 13-2 with a lot of these bookies here. If you can get 12-1 back it each way, if the 8 stay in, it's way out at the ratings, but surprises do happen in Galway. It's well bred by Walk in the Park. Won the last day. Wasn't that in Wexford? It was. Hard to know how horses will fare out after 4 days after running the Galway plate and falling at the first. I'd be prepared to go, if you got 12-1, go each way. The 3:30. Handicap Chase. Railway Hurricane is the fav. I like the look of Barnacullia. If you can get that 9-2 back at each way. 7-year-old. Trained by Mick Mulvaney. This was second in the race last year to Fighting Fit, which was rated 130. And it's 134 now. Looks like it has been laid out for the race. It ran on the handicap there to Bustleton the other night. 2 mile. That should put it all right. It's good yielding on the turf course or the track. Chase course. That'll be about right for him. I wouldn't like to see it going much softer. But that'll be the selection there. Barnacullia, Railway Hurricane. Where's the second one? Because I know that's in my tracker. Gavin had no winner yet. Oh yeah, it won in Wexford as well. It flashed to Maiden. We're taking them on with horses laid out for the race. On to the 4 o'clock. The Ahanura. The horse that won for us the other night is in this Grey Leader. It's up, what penalty to get? £6 or £7. But it's in trap 10 and it was in trap 10 the other night, and it's soft ground, it won't mind it. That was the reason I said the other night, it disappointed and good to Ferrum, but it won in Gordon off 83, which was heavy last October. So even the yielding ground, and that was 8.5 furlongs. This is 7. So it looked like he might get caught, but he didn't. So if he's out and winging tomorrow out of the stalls, and I'd give a chance to Earls drawn 5 if it can get position on the rail, sort of maybe back 4th or 5th, not too far back, because otherwise he'll have to come wide. But he came wide last year, and he finished 4th. Where are we in this race? Where was he drawn last year? He was drawn 12. He came wide and he was closing up the stretch. Like there was 5 places last year. He was 22 to 1. Actually, you could get 28s and 30s at the track, I remember. No More Porter is in it, and he was taken out the other night to run in this. I don't know. We've backed him a few times each way, and he could hack up tomorrow, and it could be another hard luck horse. Dunham won it last year, was carrying 9 stone 11 now. We'll stay with our horsey that we won for us the other night. I'll have a saver on Earls. On to a maiden. Green Brothers is the fav in this. I'll take a chance on Right and True. I've had a few winners this week from Maiden. It's drawn in 1. It needs to improve from its run in the Curragh, but 'twas soft ground, so staying on it. You know, they improve a lot for the second run. So hopefully he's drawn in 1, isn't he? Tip him out and get him in a nice position. Yeah, drawn in 1. Now we have a handicap. Artful Approach that won during the week is out again. It's carrying a penalty ticket. Probably 6. I was looking at Aidan O'Brien's horse again. What price is it? 5 to 1. Iseult of Ireland. Had a good run there. Fierce well bred by American Pharaoh to a Galileo mare. Lightly raced. But it ran first time out last year. Heavy ground last October in a maiden in Galway. It was well beaten, but it improved in on heavy ground to be behind Lord Chira. That Lord Chira ran up a sequence, and it was 76. Then it hacked up that race. Then it won off 79 and 86, won again off 92. So it was 4.5 lengths off that. So if that could improve from that run. And then in the bumper, we have a horse that won for us earlier the week. Again, there's a big discrepancy there. It's 11 to 2. I'm after checking there, and that is right. It is 11 to 2. These prices here, I don't know what they're afraid of. But Delta Force won the bumper for us the other night. Now, what ground? It was good ground, but it was second on soft in Leopardstown in March. So soft will be all right. It was out of position a long way back, and it's a good bumper, this actually. Because even you see a horse like Phyllis in, had their Smullen riding it. That won first time out, didn't it? And Tremor. Like, and that's 25-1 to second to Savante. Behind Ellen Kelly. It's a good bumper there tomorrow. We have a horse that won for us before in Chester running tomorrow. Percys Lad. 90, it's rated 96. And when it won for us, it was 95. And it was drawn wide that day, and it's drawn in the box seat tomorrow. It's drawn in 1. So if that can get out tomorrow, fairly lively at Billy Loughnane. It loves Chester, has ran really well and won a few times in Chester. So that'll be it. For newcomers, I don't go through race cards, only for the big meetings. So it's back to the bread and butter for next week now. It'll be just 1 or 2 every day if I can. So in the meantime, oh yeah, I'll probably go today again. It's 25-6 now. I get a couple hours. Might as well go. I have 4 meetings in, and might as well get 5 out of 7. I know that road up to Ballintubber into Williamstown, Dunmore, Tuam, and into Clare Galway. The N17. I know every pothole and twist and turn. The car nearly go on its own at this stage. Bash the bookies, over and out.